All right, everybody, Sylvia here. I'm in the Palm Springs area. It's another very windy day, and I am going to be doing a video today in my trailer, sheltered from the wind, and I'm going to be talking about some of the considerations for buying a trike, and the question is, are trikes safe? Come on, Myrtle. Let's go. All right, so I'm in my trailer doing a video today, and I have seen a lot of posts online recently. People are thinking about switching from upright to a trike or a two-wheel recumbent to a trike. You know, it's springtime, it's getting to be riding season, and I think people are looking ahead. And a lot of these posts have big concerns about the safety of trikes. In particular, they're really concerned about the width of the trike, and I think this is a very valid concern. Just so that we're all on the same page, there are a couple of different types of trikes, and the trike that I'm going to be talking about the most today is the tadpole trike. It's the trike that I ride. I ride an HP Velotechnik Scorpion FS20. It is a tadpole trike. It is very low to the ground. It has two wheels in the front, one in the back, is full suspension, and my trike happens to have 20-inch wheels all the way around. And you know, there's tadpole trikes, and then there are delta trikes, and a couple of big differences. I always say you get in and out of a tadpole trike, and you get on and off of a delta trike. I don't really know very much about delta trikes. I've only ridden delta trikes a few times. They're much higher off the ground, and they ride more like an upright bike. They have handlebars like an upright bike, a seat like an upright bike, and you actually pedal in a position of an upright bike. These are trikes that you're probably not going to be riding on the road. They are in a different price range. The tadpole trikes are much more expensive, much higher components. Tadpole trikes are really geared to road riding, riding in a group, riding at speed, and they take advantage of aerodynamics. They are much lower to the ground. The seat is much more reclined, and you actually sit in the seat. One of the big differences between these two trikes, and why some people will choose one over the other, is the tadpole trikes are so low to the ground that it requires you bend your knees a lot more than you probably normally do and may not be comfortable doing. One way around this is there's these poles you can buy, and they attach to the frame of the tadpole trike. They're called helping hands, and you can hold on to those as you get in and out of the trike. So it's kind of helping you to get up and get down again. Some people use those helping hands as a place to put things. So people will put their bike computer, their GPS, their phone. Some people will attach a camera, a video camera to them. So there's some other uses for them as well. I don't really know very much about delta trikes. My impression, and most of the places that I have seen them used, has been in RV parks, retirement communities. You know, these are not people that are going to be riding on the roads. You know, maybe they'll be riding to the pickleball court or just to the store. They're not going to be concerned about speed. These trikes tend to be kind of tippy. You know, the weight distribution is not nearly as even as the tadpole trikes, which are so low to the ground, and it's much easier to get that weight distribution centered, and you don't need to worry about cornering or riding at speed. You're still going to have a lot of control. So I would say that if you are interested in road riding, touring, you know, riding with your buddies in the bike group, you're definitely going to be looking at a tadpole trike. And I think one of the biggest concerns for anybody who is thinking about riding or switching over to a trike is the width of the trike, and I think it's a very valid concern. But it's a very interesting phenomenon about this, because I will tell you, whenever I ride behind two-wheel bikers, whether it's upright or recumbent, I am always more to the right than the upright, the two-wheel bikers. And I think there is some good reasons for this. For starters, two-wheel bikers need to be concerned about the curb and their pedals. You don't want to get too close to the curb. And then also there's a lot of debris that gets, pushed to the edge of the road from rain, from traffic, and it can be potential flat material. On a two-wheel bike, getting a flat is a much bigger deal than it is on a trike. You have to worry about, you're worried about being able to keep control of your bike at speed if you get a flat. On the trike, it's just not an issue. If you get a flat on a trike, it just doesn't matter. You just get a flat, you pull over, you change it. Even a rear flat, I have had rear flats at 40 miles an hour flying downhill, and it's just a flat. It doesn't have any effect on my control over the trike. There's also another really big reason, and that's, there's that area between the edge of the road and the dirt, gravel, or the grass, and that is a very big hazard for a two-wheel bike. On a trike, it's irrelevant. It's just not a big deal to put that right wheel into the gravel, into the dirt, into the grass. It's, I'm not going to be able to go as fast, but it's not going to change the control that I have over the trike. And, when you want to transition from the dirt, gravel, grass back onto the asphalt, there's that lip of the road that is, really treacherous for a two-wheel bike, because if you get caught on that, if your front wheel, back wheel gets caught on that, you're going to slip out, you're going to crash. It can be devastating. I have a friend who didn't get caught on the edge of the road, but she got her front wheel caught on a crack in the road. And, it threw her off the bike, and she ended up needing facial reconstruction surgery. Something like this is just never going to happen on a trike. You're never going to have a problem with wet leaves. You're never going to have a problem with wet paint. You're never going to have a problem with gravel on the road. You are always going to be able to keep control of the trike. These are reasons that people don't often think about, and it's not an obvious thing with the trikes. And it's really a huge difference between riding a two-wheel bike and riding with three wheels, is you just have a lot more control. When you get into riding in traffic, of course, the trucks, truckers always have a lot to say about bikers, and they always want the bikers to know how they feel. They roll down their passenger window and yell, just all kinds of stuff. Sometimes they'll spew out, black exhaust from their tailpipe. And there too, I can tell you that the trikes, are more than likely to avoid that unpleasantness, because the tentpole trikes are so low to the ground that those truckers, they have to time it exactly, because as soon as it leaves the tailpipe, it just goes up, and it's going to be, you're so low to the ground that it's just going to go over you, and it will have no effect. But either way, I know those truckers are looking in their rearview mirror to see my reaction. I give them nothing. Even if I do get some of those fumes, I show nothing. I give them no satisfaction. And then car drivers, there is kind of a fascinating psychological thing that goes on with the car drivers. I have flags. I have lights. I have bright colored helmet. I have bright colored panniers. I know that I am very visible on the road. And, it's just so interesting how often a car driver will roll down their window, yell through the passenger window that they cannot see me. And, you know, I'll give them the thumbs up. I'm like, okay. And if they, you know, want to hang around, I'll yell back. I'd be like, well, if you can't see me, who are you yelling at? I mean, seriously. And, you know, it turns out that it's not that they can't see the trike. They can see the trike perfectly well, but they want to see your face. And so, you know, if they're not going to get upset, they are more than likely to give you a very wide berth. And this is kind of a phenomenon with trikes. You will see it time and time again. And what happens is the tadpole trikes are so low to the ground that the top of your head just comes to the bottom of the window. And so the driver can't see your face. And that's what they want to see. And so in order to see your face, they have to go way out of their way often into opposing traffic lanes to have enough room so that they can actually see your face through the passenger window. And it's just kind of one of those weird trike things that it's very, very common. And for that reason, it's far safer than riding a bike. I have always gotten a lot of room from car traffic. One very interesting aspect of riding a trike is people more than likely will assume that you are disabled, that you have a handicap of some kind. There's an association with the three wheels and a wheelchair, and they just seem to go together. What this means is people are going to be far more sympathetic, and I find people are more likely to be kind of encouraging and supportive, and oh my gosh, look at this older, handicapped woman, and she's out here on her own, independent, mobile, and she's found a way to, get around, and, they kind of applaud you for this. When I first started riding a trike, which was I think in 2004, I was in my 40s, I do not have any kind of a disability, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But I understood it, and there is some truth to it, because I think if I could ride a two-wheel bike, I probably would be riding a two-wheel bike. But in my case, I am such a slow cyclist that I was not able to get up and over the hills on a two-wheel bike without walking. And what I really wanted to do was tour. And the idea of touring with a fully loaded bike, walking up all the hills, just didn't seem like fun. And so that is why I switched to a trike. My first trike was a Greenspeed GTO, and one of its marketing features was that it has 81 gears. It has 3 chain rings, a 9-speed cog, and a 3-speed SRAM internal hub in the rear wheel. And you add all of that up, and it comes up to 81 gears. There's a lot of overlap. And even though the SRAM hub says it has 3 gears, that middle gear really is neutral. And so it really just has a high and a low. I think I calculated that it had over 50 gears, independent gears that I could choose from, which is just a ton. And I have never found a hill I cannot climb on that trike or the trike that I'm currently riding. I have ridden in Appalachia, the Rockies. I've ridden in the Alps of New Zealand. I've ridden around Mexico City. The last tour I did was in Colombia, and I was riding, at 11,000, 12,000 feet. And am I slow? Oh yeah, you bet I'm slow, but I'm riding. And so this is one of the real benefits of riding a trike is, no matter what, you're going to be able to get up that hill. And if you need to take a break, it's not a big deal. You pull over, you take a break, and you're always going to get started again because there are no balance issues. And so for me, This has made touring possible. I have ridden my trike all over the world. I've been on 6 continents in over 20 countries, and none of this would be possible without a trike. I have also found that because people think I'm disabled, I've come up to all kinds of crazy intersections, and I'm just like, I have no idea how I'm going to get through this. And everything stops. They see me coming and they're like, oh, the handicapped woman. And they just let me go through. This has happened time and time again. And, if I'm like, I'll see like 2-wheel riders, like a pack, and they're just sitting there waiting for traffic to clear. And I just go up there and I'm just like, I got this, and people see me and they just automatically stop and, we'll all go across the street. It's just one of those very interesting side benefits of riding a trike. There is 2 aspects of riding a trike that I really think people need to consider, especially if they're coming from an upright bike. And that is, the biggest consideration is, who do you ride with? If you are part of a bike club and you have a group of riders, it's a big part of your social life, and you want to continue to ride with them, it's going to be completely different. The trike is going to be much faster going downhill. You'll probably be able to keep up with everybody on the flats, but then going uphill, it's going to be ridiculously slow, and it's possible that you're going to feel very uncomfortable, and it's just not going to be the same camaraderie with your buddies that you had on your 2-wheel bike. The other thing is, you have to be ready for a lot of attention. The trike it makes people laugh, it makes people smile, people want to know what you're doing. It just seems to give people license to yell things at you like, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh my God, I love your bike. Tell me about it. Where are you? What are you doing? When I'm touring, especially out of the United States, it's not quite as severe in the United States. Like my last tour, I was in Colombia for 6 months, and I probably had my photo taken 10,000 times. People will pull over to take my picture. They will get out of their cars to get a picture with me, and it's really just part of riding the trike, and it's constant. It's such a big part of touring that I find I can tour for 2 days, and then I need to put the trike away. I get into a hotel room, I put the trike away, and then I just need a day to be a normal gringa tourist without all that attention. And so, these are some of the things that you can think about in terms of whether or not a trike is right for you, or if you know somebody, you ride a trike and you want to encourage them. These are some of the issues, concerns, and the fun of riding a trike. I personally think that trikes are just a hoot. Just the way you interact with everybody on the road, laughing, it just makes people smile, and that's an aspect of trike riding that I just love. So let me know what you think. Maybe you've got other concerns about trikes. How do you handle some of these issues of riding on the road? Let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I love hearing from everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Give it a thumbs up. It helps out the channel a ton. And as always, thank you for watching.